Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. This is part 2 of a video I'm working on. Okay? Okay, you get it, yeah. So if you didn't watch part 1, then you shouldn't be here. You don't want to know what they do to people that don't watch part 1. You don't want to know. And if for whatever reason you think you do want to know, you think you do want to watch this without watching part 1, then just know that there's spoilers in here. Oh yeah, this is spoilers. There's spoilers for the original Xenoblade Chronicles. There's spoilers for Fire Emblem Awakening, and there's spoilers for Kid Icarus Uprising. See, some of you wanted to skip past this intro. I'm saying don't skip past this intro, because I didn't say that last time. But there are spoilers for Kid Icarus Uprising in here. They're there. So you haven't played that. You know, watch out. When I start talking about the Kid Icarus series, yeah, I'm going to put up a timestamp, and I'm going to say, hey, you want to watch this part. You want to skip to this point. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, you ready to hear what I have to say? Huh? You ready? You ready? Let's go!
Alright, on to Pokémon. First of all, I don't think anyone is being cut. I've heard some people say that there are only going to be 6 Pokémon in Smash Bros. At a time because you can only have 6 Pokémon in your party in the Pokémon games, or that they should keep it that way because, oh, wouldn't that be cute? No, that's idiotic. That is not how characters are determined for Smash Bros. And if you really think about it, who would they cut? Who would they cut? Because some people say Greninja because, oh, it was only included to promote X and Y. It's not like he got any less popular when Sun and Moon came out. He was voted the #1 most popular Pokemon in Japan. You got a downloadable Greninja with the demo version of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like, he's not being cut. You know, you can't cut Charizard or Mewtwo or Pikachu. I mean, that should be obvious, because they're all iconic Gen 1 Pokemon that people have a lot of nostalgia for. You can't cut Lucario because he's sort of a secondary mascot for the series now, and he's appeared in Pokken Tournament, and he has a big role in the new movie, which, you know, he seems to very frequently have big roles in the movies.
The only character that I'd consider undeserving of being in Smash right now is Jigglypuff, but Jigglypuff's one of the original 12, so we know she's not going to be cut either.
I know some people are annoyed that Pokemon is overrepresented in Smash, but it's the second biggest video game franchise ever. I think it deserves to have as many characters as it does, and I think it deserves to have Decidueye included as well. As for how I think these characters should change, I think that Pikachu should be more like Ash's Pikachu. Some of the moves he has in Smash just don't make sense. Thunder Jolt, his B move, isn't a real Pokemon move. At least not in the games. There's a move called Thunder Jolt in the card game, but you can't do it in any of the Pokemon video games. So replace that with Electro Ball, and then Skull Bash, his side B, is a move that Pikachu could only learn in Pokemon Yellow version, and hasn't been able to learn since. So I would replace that with Iron Tail, and it can have a homing effect, sort of like a Sonic's homing attack. So you press side B, and he just slams into the nearest opponent with his tail. Alternate costumes should be based off of the cosplay Pikachus that were in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Detective Pikachu, because, I mean, you just have to. As for his alternate Final Smash, I feel like he needs the 10 million volt Thunderbolt, and the way that you activate that is the same way that you activate regular Thunderbolt, down B. Alright, as for Charizard, he has some dumb moves too. Like, I understand that you can teach a Charizard Rock Smash in the Pokemon games, but why would you want to? And tell me, before Smash Brothers, did anyone associate the move Rock Smash with Charizard? I'm guessing no. So I would replace that with Air Cutter. Give him another flying type move. And Air Cutter is pretty powerful. It makes sense to include it in his moveset. As for his alternate Final Smash, we have Mega Charizard X. Include Mega Charizard Y as well. And that is another Final Smash that can be selected pre-match. What would Mega Charizard Y do that Mega Charizard X couldn't do? Well, it would bring about the Drought, which would make all of Charizard's Fire-type moves stronger, and would make all of the other characters on the field slower and weaker, temporarily. As for Lucario, there's not really much reason to change anything. His alternate Final Smash could be the Final Smash he has in Brawl, and that's activated while he is in the air. Makes sense, because he's firing from above. For Mewtwo, I would maybe give him some different moves as well, because what person in their right mind would give their Mewtwo Confusion and Teleport? I don't know what specifically to give him, maybe like Light Screen or Psychic. And that could make him a little different than Lucario, too, if he didn't have Shadow Ball, although that is an actual sensible move for him. Maybe replace that with Psycho Cut or something. He could have an alternate skin based on Shadow Mewtwo from Pokken Tournament, as well as Armored Mewtwo from Pokemon the first movie.
Its alternate Final Smash would be Mega Mewtwo X, and it would use all-out pummeling, because it is part fighting type when it Mega Evolves, and this would also be selected pre-match.
Greninja gets Ash Greninja as an alt Final Smash, and that Final Smash works from far away. Jigglypuff, maybe incorporate some Fairy-type moves, give it Disarming Voice and Dazzling Gleam, and then for an alternate Final Smash, I can't believe that this isn't already Jigglypuff's Final Smash. Put everyone on stage to sleep, and draw on their faces with a magic marker. And this can be activated with Up B, because that's how Jigglypuff normally puts people to sleep. Now, onto the Kirby series. Now, Kirby has hundreds of potential moves to choose from because he has all those different copy abilities. And if they wanted to update the character, they could very easily give him copy abilities from newer games. Stuff like Beetle, or Poison, or Spider, just to name a few. As for his alternate Final Smash, I would love to see the Robobot armor, and that could be activated from far away. It would just be a strong transformation-based Final Smash. As for Meta Knight, I think he should have more moves based off of the sword ability, since that's how Meta Knight plays in the Kirby games. He could have the sword beam, the downward thrust, and stuff like that. He should definitely have an alternate costume based off of Galactonite, and maybe one based off of his original design, because that would be super cool. And his alternate Final Smash should be Night Call, which was in one of the Meta Nightmare modes. Basically, he calls in two other knights, and they fight alongside him, and that can be used from far away. Now, as for King DeDeDe, I think that he needs more moves based off of the hammer ability. Similar point to Meta Knight. He should be the one who has Kirby's Fire Hammer thing, and he should also have the Hammer Spin move that Kirby can do. I think that Masked DeDeDe should be an alternate costume, and I think that his Final Smash should be based off of Buff DeDeDe, and again, that's a transformation-based move that he uses from far away. Now, on to Fire Emblem, and this is where things get really interesting. If this is a deluxe version, it's a port, then everyone returns. But considering that it's pretty obvious that this is a brand new game and not a port, I think there are gonna be a lot of cuts. I think that Marth, Ike, and Robin are for sure going to stay. All of them have original movesets. Marth and Ike have now both appeared in multiple Smash Brothers games in a row, so they have seniority, and it makes sense to include Robin because he's a representative for Awakening, which to date is the most popular Fire Emblem game, both in terms of sales and in terms of review scores. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that even though Corrin has an original moveset, he is most likely getting cut because Fates wasn't that well received, and people were kind of miffed that he was included in Smash in the first place when there were already so many Fire Emblem characters, and when there were other characters from recent Nintendo games that could have been included instead, like Elma from Xenoblade X or the Inklings from Splatoon. So, yeah, I think he's fairly likely to be cut. I could see Roy going either way. On the one hand, he is a fan favorite, and he is different enough from Marth, but on the other hand, he's still a semi-clone. He's still somewhat redundant. And he wasn't in the base version of Smash 4. He was added later as DLC. Plus, the game he's from is almost 20 years old at this point, and it's never come out in America, and he hasn't had a major appearance in a Fire Emblem game since, so he's not really relevant. So, I don't know. He's a coin toss. And as for Lucina, she should be an alt costume for Marth. And speaking of Marth, I don't have a lot of ideas for Marth, and I really don't know much about the original Fire Emblem game, so I don't have really a great idea of what his final smash should be. So, give him something from Fire Emblem Warriors, I guess. I don't know. If you can think of something better, leave it in the comments. As for the other two, Ike can have an alternate final smash where he summons the Laguas, which are a race of, like, bird people and cat people and dragon people, and they can sort of stampede in, and that could be a far-away final smash, as opposed to Great Ether, which is close range. And as for Robin, his alternate final smash is a major spoiler, but he's gonna turn into Grima, the final boss from Fire Emblem Awakening. I guess, like, Grima is like a clone of Robin from, like, an alternate reality or something, and Robin was, like, the vessel for him. I don't fucking know. I couldn't follow it. But this final smash is something that Robin can only do when he's at high damage. Grima would be pretty crazy overpowered, so you gotta have some way to justify that. As for Metroid, I realize that there is a ton that they could do to make Samus different. In fact, there's so many different weapons that she has that they could easily make her work like Palutena, where all of her custom moves are different power-ups. But, I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about Metroid. I could never really get into the games, so my suggestions here should be taken with a grain of salt. You can probably think of much better stuff than I can. I'm not sure how Zero Suit Samus is going to work in this game. I feel like she's going to return, though, because she's popular and she makes sense as a character. She's actually relevant, unlike Sheik. I don't know if they're going to make that part of Samus's final smash transformation thing again, or if she's going to be her own character. If she is part of Samus's final smash, then boom, you already have two final smashes worked in. Have Samus's final smash from Smash 4 and Zero Suit Samus's final smash from Smash 4, and then after she leaves the ship, she goes back into her power suit. But if they are two separate characters again, I really don't know what Zero Suit Samus would have for a final smash. The best final smash I can come up with for regular Samus is having the giant baby Metroid from the end of Super Metroid latch onto someone's head. And that would be selected pre-match. Alright, on to Star Fox. I think Fox and Falco are going to return, although if it were up to me, Falco wouldn't return. He's a clone of Fox, and they've made him less of a clone of Fox over the years, but he's still a clone of Fox, and I don't really like Fox's playstyle. And if they bring back Wolvie, three characters with that same basic playstyle, I think that there's no reason Falco should have gotten in over any of the other Star Fox crew members. I feel like Slippy would have had a more interesting moveset since he's a mechanic. But you know, Melee fans love Falco, so they gotta include him. And they did include him again. If it were up to me, like I said in my last video, I'd want him to have a walker-based moveset. But that's not gonna happen. Next best thing would be to give him some weapons from like Star Fox Assault so that he could incorporate those into his moveset. And speaking of weapons from Star Fox Assault, maybe those could be worked into a Final Smash. I don't really know. Otherwise, both of these characters are going to have the same 2 Final Smashes. the Landmaster, and then having Slippy and Peppy accompany them in their R-Wings. I don't know why that isn't at least one of the Star Fox characters' Final Smashes already, particularly Falco's, since he says, personally, I prefer the air, but it should be a Final Smash. And it would be selectable through the select screen. For the Animal Crossing series, all that Villager really needs to change is his alternate Final Smash can be DJ KK from Animal Crossing New Leaf. That move can be used from a distance because it's sound-based. That's where you can have your sound-based Final Smash, Sakurai. Let KK Slider do it. The Earthbound / Mother series is another series that I don't have much to say on. I feel like Ness should have costumes based off of Ninten, as well as a pajama costume, and I feel like Lucas should have costumes based off of the Masked Man, as well as Kumatora. But really, why don't either of these guys have Final Smashes based off of their respective super powerful moves from their games? Ness should have PSI Rockin', Lucas should have PK Love. And they can both be up-close Final Smashes. Like, seriously, why isn't that their Final Smash in the first place? Alright, on to Kid Icarus! Dark Pit won't get in. There'll be an alternate costume for Pit, again, unless this is a port. Pit's alternate Final Smash will become the Great Sacred Treasure from the end of Kid Icarus Uprising. And Palutena's alternate Final Smash could be Pit's old Brawl Final Smash. I mean, it was called Palutena's Army, so yeah, it makes sense for her to be the one to summon the army. And that would be activated from far away. Alright, for the Xenoblade series, I think that Shulk should have costumes based off of actual Xenoblade armor, as opposed to just having different colors based off of the other party members. I thought that was kind of a dumb move. And I think his alternate Final Smash can be the True Monado, and basically that just increases all of Shulk's stats at once, and replaces his normal B move, since there's really no reason to use Monado Arts when you're already super powerful, becomes Monado Cyclone when he's in this transformation. In the words of the great Derek Bittner, okay, so we're almost done here. But we still have a couple more series to go. First, I'd like to address the Mii series, which includes stuff like Wii Sports, Tomodachi Life, etc. First of all, I think that the Miis will return. I hear some people say that they won't return because, like, the Miis don't have much of a presence on the Switch, but they're still on there. You can still use them. So I think they should return. And I think that when they return, they should be given some new classes and some new moves from Miitopia. I specifically think that having a Mii Mage in addition to the Mii Fighter, Gunner, and Sword Fighter would be great. I think that would make a lot of sense. As for what its new Final Smash would be, I don't know. They'll figure something out. As for the Wii Fit Trainer, the alternate Final Smash I came up with for her is called Body Shame. So basically, another character will step onto the scale. It's gonna flash a message about their weight, like some sort of demeaning message. Like, for example, for Bowser, it says king size. For Jigglypuff, it could say, like, more puff than tough, or, you know, something goofy like that. And then, as they're, like, staring at these, like, demeaning words in front of them, the Wii Fit Trainer steps on the scale, tipping it into the air and launching the opponent. And this, of course, would be an up-close activation. Alright, for the retro characters,
Duck Hunt
can have a final smash called Zapper Upgrade, and it would work from far away. So first, he would fire a shot from the NES Zapper, which would be the weakest shot. Then he would fire another shot from the Super Scope, which is a little stronger. And then finally, he would use the Wii Zapper to finish off, and that would be the strongest blast of them all. For R.O.B, I think that he should have a costume based off of the Ancient Minister from Brawl. That was a big part of his character, and, you know, it'd just be cool to see. And I think his alternate final smash can be his regular diffusion beam from Brawl. The way it would work is, since he has that indicator at the top of his head that lets you know if your laser is fully charged, when his laser is not fully charged, that's what causes the regular diffusion beam, and then when it is, he'll use Super Diffusion Beam, his final smash from Smash Wii U. As for Mr. Game & Watch, there's probably something better than this to pull from one of the old Game & Watch games, but I came up with a move called 2D-Struction, which would be selected pre-match, and everyone on the stage becomes flat and moves slowly and clunkily, where Mr. Game & Watch would be faster and stronger and would be able to do a lot of damage to them. Alright, for Pikmin, just Olimar, basically, he'd get Rock Pikmin incorporated into his moveset, and he should have alternate costumes based off of the other captains from Pikmin 3, as well as Louie and the President. And his alternate final smash can be called Fruit Smash, and it would be selected pre-match. And basically, he'd get a bunch of Pikmin to grab a piece of fruit, which are giant in the Pikmin universe, and they would throw that fruit at the opponent, and the juice would get everywhere, and it would just be nasty.
So, I was almost done editing when I realized I never talked about Punch-Out! So, for Little Mac, I think that Wireframe Mac should return, but it doesn't need 8 alternate costumes. Of all the characters to get 16 alternate costumes, Little Mac is probably the least deserving of that. And moveset-wise, I wish he borrowed more moves from other boxers, like being able to use Aaron Ryan's, like, boxing glove on a string, or Bald Bull's, like, Bull Rush. And as for his final smash, his alternate final smash, I see it as an up-close final smash, where he ties an opponent up by string and starts beating them like a punching bag.
Now, finally, you know, it's like bookmarks. It's the way I started the video, it's the way I'm ending it. The third-party characters. Sonic is coming back. He's been in the past 2 Smash games. They are not going to get rid of him. I feel like the way that they do alternate costumes for Sonic should change completely. He shouldn't just get different hues and different rings. He should actually change colors, and these can reflect the different Sonic characters. So like yellow for Tails, black for Shadow, red for Knuckles, etc., etc. And he should get a Metal Sonic costume as well. That would be dope. But as far as actual moves go, I wish he relied less on the spin dash, so maybe give him some moves from Sonic Battle, or even Sonic and the Fighters, and he should have the same side B that he has in Super Smash Flash 2, the Light Dash, to, again, make his reliance on the spin dash much less, because right now his side B and his down B visually look exactly the same, and functionally, like, I see them as exactly the same. There might be different properties, but I really haven't noticed. And for his alternate final smash, it's a meme, so you gotta include it. It's also from the newest Sonic game, so it makes sense to include it. Give him the double boost from Sonic Forces. Have the avatar appear next to him, and they rush in together and damage everyone in their path. And this would be activated by his new side B, because it is dash-based. As for Bayonetta, I think she should come back, because Bayonetta has received a lot of support on the Switch. They're getting Bayonetta 3, and they already have ports of the first 2 Bayonettas, so it only makes sense. She should be nerfed some, because I know she was pretty overpowered in Smash 4. I have no idea what her ultimate Final Smash would be. To be honest, I haven't played more than like 5 minutes of either Bayonetta game, so I don't know what she could do. But I know she has tons of crazy combos, so I'm sure there's something. Post your suggestions in the comments. Now for Pac-Man, he's definitely coming back. Again, another big, iconic character with an original moveset, unique playstyle. Give him better alternate costumes, though. Give him Baby Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. I'm really shocked that Ms. Pac-Man wasn't an alt costume already. And for his alternate Final Smash, would be selected pre-match. It is the Mokujin armor that he had in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It would basically just be a transformation-based thing where he could do a bunch of, like, strong moves. And finally, we have Cloud Strife, who, I guess this really is perfect bookends, because he's in the same situation as Ryu, where, yeah, he's iconic, yeah, he has a unique moveset, but he is out of place. But I feel like the fact that Square supported Smash Brothers in the last game means that they should have another character in Smash 5, but I don't know if it should be Cloud, since he's not really associated with Nintendo and he doesn't really fit Nintendo's aesthetic. They could include Black Mage from the Final Fantasy series, since he's been there since the very first Final Fantasy game, which was a Nintendo exclusive and is kind of a mascot for the series. They could include Chocobo, which is, again, been in the series for a long time, sort of a mascot. They could include Chrono from Chrono Trigger. They wanted another retro throwback. They could include a newer Square Enix character that has more of an association with Nintendo, like Neku from The World Ends With You, maybe a character from Project Octopath, but I really don't know about Cloud, and if he was included, I don't know what his alternate Final Smash would be. Maybe one of the limit breaks, although they kind of screwed the pooch on that one, because they made the limit breaks just his regular attacks. So maybe one of the summons? I don't know. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. I will see you next time.